So let's talk about Casual Breakthrough in Battlefield 6 because this mode was advertised very clearly from day one as an easier, more chill, more relaxed way to progress career XP, weapon mastery, and acquisitions, finishing up challenges. That was the pitch. And early on, honestly, it made sense, but the real question now is, does Casual Breakthrough still deliver on that promise, or has it actually become worse than just playing regular modes? I tested it and the results are pretty eye-opening. Ladies and gentlemen, this is GhostX. Welcome back to another video. Let me explain a little bit more about what I just told you. Originally, Casual Breakthrough was meant to be an easier alternative to standard Breakthrough. You only have 8 real human players and the rest of the lobby is filled with bots. That alone makes the mode less chaotic, less sweaty, and easier to control. At launch, we only had like a couple of maps available for Casual Breakthrough. Over time, with patches and updates, DICE expanded it to include more maps, which made the mode more appealing and more playable. And at first, it worked exactly as advertised. People were using Casual Breakthrough to rack up kills on bots, level up weapons fast, finish weapon mastery challenges, and just grind progression without stress. Back then, it was honestly a good idea. But then changes happened, not just to the game overall, but specifically to Casual Breakthrough. What the developers did was reduce how much XP bots can give toward progression, especially for weapon mastery. Bots started awarding significantly less progression compared to the real human players. So while you could still get kills, those kills don't translate into mastery levels the same way they used to. And that's the key point. Casual Breakthrough was quickly nerfed. The mode still looks the same, it still feels the same, but the progression math behind it is very different now. Now, instead of guessing or just feeling like it's worse, I actually tested it. Here's exactly what I did. I played one Casual Breakthrough match and one regular Breakthrough match. I tried to behave as similarly as possible in both games, and I'm talking about same playstyle, same aggression, same objective focus, and most importantly, I used a brand new weapon with 0 progression on it that I've never used before. The reason I did that because weapon mastery slows down after every 10 levels. The first 10 levels are always the fastest, and that's where difference show up, very clearly. My goal was to compare how much effort it takes in Casual Breakthrough to gain the first few levels versus how much effort it takes in regular Breakthrough to gain the same amount. So first, Casual Breakthrough. I played for about like 10 minutes or like 10 and a half minutes. My stats were, the score was like 6,605, the kills were 42, and the deaths were 5. From that entire match, I gained about 4.5 levels of weapon mastery. That's with like 42 kills, mostly against bots. Then I played a regular Breakthrough match, and this one lasted about like 30 minutes and a half or 30 minutes and 48 seconds to be exact. But here's the interesting part. I only got 15 kills in that match. So basically it had much fewer kills, but much harder engagement and real players only. And yet I still gained about 3 full levels of weapon mastery. So let's break this down clearly. In Casual Breakthrough, 42 kills, 10.5 minutes, 4.5 mastery levels. In regular Breakthrough, I had 15 kills, 13.5 minutes, and I had 3 mastery levels. When you normalize this for time and effort, what you find is this. Regular Breakthrough gives you roughly 2/3 more weapon mastery progression and XP per hour than Casual Breakthrough. That's the important takeaway. So even though Casual Breakthrough feels easier, even though you get more kills, the actual progression efficiency is significantly worse. So if you're thinking, well, Casual Breakthrough is faster because I get more kills, that's no longer true. Yes, you will rack up numbers. You will feel that it's a little bit more productive, but under the hood, the XP and mastery gains are heavily reduced. You're putting in more efforts per mastery level than you would in regular modes. So is Casual Breakthrough still useful? Yes, but not for fast progression. It's okay if you're like want a relaxed experience, you're warming up, you're learning like weapons recoil, or you just want a low stress gameplay. But if your goal is weapon mastery, career XP, efficient progression per hour, then regular Breakthrough, Conquest, or other standard modes are objectively better right now. Casual Breakthrough was originally designed as a progression friendly mode, but after the nerfs, it no longer lives up to that promise. So at this point, the obvious question is, okay, if Casual Breakthrough isn't the move anymore, then what actually is the fastest way to level up weapons? And based on my experience and testing, think regular Breakthrough is still the best overall mode for weapon progression, and it's better than Conquest for one main reason, and that is enemy density. In Breakthrough, the fight is concentrated around a few objectives, which means enemies are constantly funneled or coming into the same areas. You're not running around the map looking for fights like in Conquest. The fights comes to you in Breakthrough. That lets you secure more eliminations in a shorter period of time. On top of that, you want to stick to one weapon at a time and fully commit to it, and instead of bouncing between guns. Also, I found that running support helps a lot here. Constantly refilling ammo from the supply bags keeps you in the fight longer without needing to redeploy or disengage. And also using gadgets like the deployable cover and the grenade interceptors also lets you lock down like a corner or position and survive longer engagements, which directly translates into more kills, more damage, and more master progression. The goal here, guys, isn't flashy plays. It's staying alive, staying in one spot as long as you can, and farming consistent engagements. And preferably that spot would be within an objective, like protect an objective or like attack an objective. So in the meantime, you're doing a teamwork as well, or you're doing your team a favor as well. And honestly, one of the biggest things that hurt progression in this game overall was what happened to Portal. When Portal first dropped, a lot of people, myself included, were spending a ton of time there. Not because it was broken, but because it was fun, creative, and still respected your time in terms of progression. Once the progression got nerfed and basically removed, you could feel it right away. Servers emptied out, people stopped hosting experiences, and a lot of players just stopped logging in altogether. I mean, was it a wrong move from DICE? I personally think so, but was it expected? Yes, kind of, because Portal was being abused, and instead of fine-tuning it, DICE took the easy route and shut progression down. And the problem with that is it killed the motivation. A lot of people just didn't see a reason to play anymore once Portal stopped counting toward anything meaningful. That decision didn't just hurt Portal, it hurt the game as a whole. A lot of people stopped playing Battlefield 6 altogether. I think DICE should bring back progression to the Portal. 100%. I guarantee a lot of people, double the numbers that we have right now, will come back to the game. So that's pretty much it for today, guys. If you've been using Casual Breakthrough for grinding and wondering why it feels slower, now you know why. Let me know in the comments if you're still using Casual Breakthrough, or did you switch back to regular modes after noticing the slowdown. And until the next one, cheers and have a good day.